welcome to our first podcast, ever.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. We are the Ticket Counter.
Yes.
We are venturing out into the internet this evening.
Yeah.
I know this is probably really oversaturated, but, it's not a big deal. We're going to try anyway. You never get anywhere if you don't try, right?
Yes. You miss 100% of the shots you take. Michael Stott.
Okay. Well, I'm Timothy. This is my cousin.
Yes, I'm Anthony. The cousin.
Yes, the cousin. Today, we're going to be talking about a video game movie.
Oh, yes. One not directed by Uwe Boll.
Or, was it Paul W.S. Anderson?
Not P.T. Anderson.
No.
Very different.
Anthony, have you seen any video game movies besides this one?
Well, I've seen the first two Tomb Raiders. I started watching Prince of Persia.
Oh no.
Oh my God, is that it?
Really? You haven't seen the greats like Mario Brothers?
No, I actually haven't seen that one.
Double Dragon?
No, haven't seen that one. Haven't seen Mortal Kombat or was there a Street Fighter movie?
There was a Street Fighter movie.
Haven't seen that one.
Superb.
I'm trying to think. I know I haven't seen any of the Uwe Boll ones.
Now,
like Blood Rain or
that guy. I completely forgot about those POSs.
Yeah, because they're POSs.
Yeah, I remember working at the theater and that poster was up on the wall, and I was like, "Oh my God, this looks like a straight to DVD movie!" Like, terrible. And like they tried to give the posters away after it came and went.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want this fucking thing. Get this thing out of here. They were like, "You want this poster?" I'm like, "No."
You don't want it for the
I don't
collector
care
value?
Ben Kingsley is in this.
He was in that one too?
Yeah, Ben Kingsley was in Blood Rain.
Oh, that's right. He was in Prince of Persia as well, if I remember right.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. That guy has so much more potential.
I think he won an Oscar, didn't he?
I know he's on the up and coming rise. Like,
yeah, to the grave.
That's a terrible descent.
He's an old man. I can't.
He is.
But my point is.
Oh yes, video game movies, not Ben Kingsley.
Video game movies, they just can't seem to make a good one.
It's hard.
It's very hard because it's two different mediums,
vastly different mediums,
kind of trying to coexist, and it's just not working out too well. You got one side that wants, a good movie, but the other side kind of wants like the movie to be more like the game.
Yeah.
So it's a it's a difficult line to kind of cross, but I think if any game would be made into a movie pretty well, would be the Tomb Raider, Uncharted.
Yeah,
kind of those Indiana Jones adventure games.
Yeah, because those games themselves always felt like they were just. I mean, they're obviously their version of Indiana Jones, so it just made sense.
Which Indiana Jones was just a version of the old 1920 serials that they had.
Yeah, but that's not a video game.
No, I'm saying like
Oh, everything's chopping off.
Their
everything.
version. Yeah. So what we have here is Tomb Raider, starring. I hope I don't butcher her name.
Oh, I think it's Alicia Vikander.
Vikander. Well, she's very pretty.
Yes.
She looks kind of like the. Oh, clarify that this is the movie about the Tomb Raider reboot.
Yeah,
came out, I think
2018. Oh, the video game. I think it was like 2013, 2015, when the reboot came out for the video game.
I want to say like 2012, 2013, something like that. I think you're right. This movie's based on that game,
which I have not played.
You have not played it?
No.
It's pretty damn good as reboots go. Like usually when they do a reboot, they want to do the dark, gritty version of it, because the old games are, you know, they were fun.
Yeah.
Like the PS1.
Yeah, I
games.
remember playing one for the PS2, and it was a lot more like just puzzle based.
It wasn't that Dark Angel one. Was it? Please tell me it's not.
Oh, I can't remember.
That
If
was
you showed me the
terrible
cover, I
game.
could remember it.
It's so bad.
But you were talking about the 2013 reboot.
Your sister actually brought that over to my house one day.
That's the one I played.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, "Hey, check this out. This will be really cool and fun and this and that." And I'm like, "This isn't really cool yet nor fun at all. This is terrible." But so they rebooted the franchise, which kind of needed it in my opinion, because Lara was kind of left out. You know, put out the pasture after that Dark Angel game. I think that was the last one, actually. And, yeah. So, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm looking up Lara
right
Croft
in the
Dark
middle
Angel.
of the damn podcast and you playing on your thing, man.
What?
We gotta tell these people about this movie.
I was trying to play the game. No.
You just trying to check your Clash of Heroes or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I got you. But no, the game was very good. I enjoyed the next one, the Rise of Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
I have both of them on my shelf over there, and so they made the movie.
Yes.
It stars Miss Alicia. It stars Dominic West, Walton
as Richard
Goggins.
Oh, Walton Goggins.
Is that how you say his name?
I believe, like you.
Because I'm looking at it right here, and I don't want to say Walton Goggles.
Yeah.
Just because of how
if you read it
it's
too fast.
spelled.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Wu, Kristen Scott.
And I think after that, it's pretty ambiguous.
Yeah, there's some names here that I've never really seen.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much our main cast. Like I said, Alicia plays Miss Lara Croft.
Mm-hmm.
The mic here.
Dominic West plays Papa Croft.
Lord Richard.
Oh, that's right.
The Lord Richard Croft. I guess he was knighted.
Well, no, that's only if you're Sir Richard Croft.
Well,
if I remember, right, Lord is just like
Lord of a manor or something.
Yeah, like just like the type of
Manor
baron.
Croft.
Yeah.
I always get a kind of a chuckle when I hear that, the Croft Manor.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then we've got Mr. Walton, who plays Mathis, which is our bad guy here.
Mm-hmm. Which during the movie, when he first introduces himself as Matthias Vogel, I could have sworn he said local.
Matthias Local.
That's what I thought he said.
So he's like a native of that island, some white guy.
I was just confused as to why his last name was Local.
Oh, okay.
Like I was like, that is the weirdest last name. I was like,
well, we'll get into why you actually thought that, because he mumbles a lot in this movie. He's very.
Yeah, like Walton Goggins kind of swings from either kind of like quiet mumbling or like very well enunciated dialogue. He's
very held back, but we'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mr. Daniel Wu, who plays Lu Ren, which is literally the boat captain.
Yeah,
who's thirsty for Lara after like a day, but do you want to do like spoilers? I don't mind just getting into it, man.
No, let's get into
just
it.
Into
yeah.
it.
So like a spoiler warning?
Yeah, this is a spoiler warning for Tomb Raider. If you played the game, there's probably only one, maybe two differences.
Which I'm interested in.
There's a lot of differences, but like spoilery differences.
Oh, okay.
Like twists in the movie that weren't in the game.
Okay.
So starts off. Laura being angsty,
Mm-hmm.
as I guess young women are nowadays.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
because I never played the reboot, so I don't know what the characterization for Lara in that game was.
she's
But that,
she's basic. I mean, it's here's the thing: the movie did a pretty damn good job, kind of
mm-hmm.
making the game um, kind of it kind of mirrored the game pretty well.
Okay.
Not perfectly,
Are
in my
there
opinion.
are there levels where you're in London?
No,
Okay.
but her kind of sense of, oh, I want to find my father, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll do anything, even go to a spooky island
Okay.
to do it,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah.
I'm about that.
If that's how you want to find your dad.
But this one is like the movie is pretty odd to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like she doesn't take the inheritance of her father
Yeah.
because okay, so let me spell it. Her father goes out and is an adventurer,
A secret adventure.
yeah, secret adventure, and so he goes out and does adventures, and he turns up missing.
Mm-hmm.
It's 7 years later, and apparently she hasn't taken the inheritance. And I don't know about you,
Mm-hmm.
but after 7 years, I would think, my loved one's dead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 7 years. That's a person who doesn't want to be found.
If they're still alive, yeah.
Yeah, if they're still alive.
Which, spoiler warning, he didn't.
He does not.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
It's
But
it kind of. I'm just kind of chuckling at like the whole resolution of the movie, but so she doesn't take her dad's inheritance.
which I liked. I thought that was really good storytelling, where it gave her a sense of it. It definitively, because in order to get the inheritance, she had to sign and confirm that she believed her father was dead in absentia.
Yeah.
So obviously not wanting to admit that even legally to get X amount of money.
Yeah, but I mean, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that kind of how you explain that. But I mean, she's borderline a hobo in the movie.
Yeah.
Like she's doing like dingy like delivery service work. And
yeah,
stuff.
she's an Uber Eats worker.
Yeah, and
on a bicycle.
I mean, it is a movie, so I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, realistically.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, a girl that's grown up in, like, luxury probably wouldn't do that, in my opinion.
Well, that's why I liked it, because it showcased her characterization of, like, given the choice of admitting, do you think your dad's dead, or do you want to live on the streets?
Yeah, I understand that. Mm-hmm. And they didn't do a great job kind of like explaining and showing us the relationship between her and her father. But they did okay.
Yeah.
In my opinion. They just kind of did okay. But it kind of like got me to like, yeah, why don't we go on an adventure?
Mm-hmm.
Usually, sometimes you see it and you're like, I don't fucking care. What's your motivation?
Yeah.
Like, you want to find your father? Okay, fine. What? Very basic. And usually movies, they'll kind of try and flesh that out. But I don't want you to just find your father. I want you to find, yourself and this and that. That sounds corny.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't care about your character, I don't care about the movie.
No. And I do agree with you there, because I thought the characterization for her was fantastic in the beginning arc.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as she went adventuring, it really, I don't know, they really kind of like lost their grip on her.
Yeah.
As for motivation.
Yeah. I mean, find your father. Escape. That's her two goals. But like when you go to Indiana Jones,
mm-hmm.
it's not just let me find this person and then escape. He's an archaeologist who's looking for that treasure. He's driven by history, by
Oh yeah, yeah,
adventure. He's driven by wanting to find lost,
yeah. As a
cultures.
preservationist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I was like, I couldn't think of the word.
like he goes into the tombs and he, you know, he's like reading the walls and he's like quoting, historical facts and things. Like he knows his shit.
Yeah.
But in this, it's literally just a rescue mission, and they stumble onto basically, basically, Laura's father is Indiana Jones,
Yes,
and we're following.
Mutt Williams, I guess the.
No, we're following. Oh my god, I've seen the movie 100 times. Who's the love interest in Lost Ark?
Oh, Marion Ravenwood.
Yeah, Ravenwood. We're
Um,
basically following Ravenwood
what is the
in
actress's
this
name?
movie.
I can't remember her name, but that's the character's
She's a
name.
great actor.
Yeah.
I've only seen her in a couple things, but most famous
Mhm.
Raiders and The Kingdom of the Crystal
Skull.
Skull. Oh boy!
Marion Ravenwood Part 2.
But that's kind of what it felt like to me. Was like we're kind of following Marion Ravenwood,
hmm
and she's a ragtag chick. Gets into scraps.
Yeah.
Because like Laura, in the beginning of the movie, she's like fighting a chick in a boxing ring.
Yeah.
Gets her ass kicked, which I liked.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like you don't want.
No.
There's an old saying like if your hero is impervious to everything,
Mhm.
it's fucking boring.
Oh, it's so boring.
And the perfect example is Superman. And I know some people disagree, but like if you make him godly,
hmm
he's boring. Like who cares? He's a god. Well, he can do anything.
No, which is
But they made her really vulnerable.
yeah. No, which I like because it's very much like Rocky, in the sense that like she's really bad, like
And she's really bad
at a lot of
fighting.
stuff.
I mean, she can do it.
hmm
She could defend herself, but like toe to toe with somebody who's been doing it like 20 years, I mean, she get her ass handed to her.
Yeah.
And that's what I like.
Mhm.
That's good.
And I really liked how they furthered that too with the flashback with her archery,
oh yeah.
and they show her as
Well,
like maybe
the
like
thing
12.
is, like, the game,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing she gets is a bow and arrow,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they kind of like throw in a couple throwaway lines about she can do archery,
Mm-hmm.
but like the game's stealth mechanics are used with the bow, the crossbow, or not
Oh,
crossbow.
longbow.
Yeah, longbow. Excuse me. And I knew that like the trailer even showed she was going to use that, which is good.
Yeah, I mean it's even in the title design,
Yeah,
the arrow shaft.
which yeah, I completely forgot like the arrow kind of accents the A and it shoots through. I forgot about that. Hell, it's right there on the
Poster.
poster here. The first problem I had with the movie
Yeah.
was this like Fox thing, this like bike chase.
Yeah. Would you have a problem with that? I thought that was fine.
That was the problem. It was just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like meh. And I think, in my personal opinion, it's the worst thing you can do in a movie
Mm-hmm.
because like you want really exciting movies like The Avengers, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Ultron very much, but that's a whole nother
Yeah,
conversation.
like
Um,
I mean, for my summary for Ultron was like I liked the character of Ultron
mhm.
because James Spader kills it in anything he does.
I love James Spader.
But yeah, that movie had a lot of flaws.
Yeah,
But
well, that was
Ultron-
studio.
Ultron
editing.
himself was not one of them.
Well, James Spader was great.
Yeah.
Ultron as a character, he was like, I don't want my Ultron to be. I mean, that's a personal preference, but I don't want my Ultron cracking jokes, He's a killing machine
Oh yeah.
who doesn't kill very much, in my opinion. He's just kind of here. Let me do my quip and then do scary shit and then run away.
Mm-hmm. Give you
Whatever.
guys plenty of time to team up.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Detour. No.
Yeah, the little detour, but the Avengers is super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every
Are you
excuse
okay?
me,
Okay.
had a burp.
Mm-hmm.
That was my pop. But like, it's super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have something so god awful like The Room, Samurai Cop, which I know you haven't seen.
No, I've not seen either.
Oh man, like you would understand where I'm coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you go so far into the middle of the road, it's the worst thing you could do because it'll be forgotten. Like The Room, people say it's the worst movie of all time.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of bad movies,
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoyed pretty much all of them. But if The Room was literally, the acting was okay, the story was okay, no one in their right damn mind would be talking about The Room in 2018, and they wouldn't be making The Disaster Artist in 2018 or 17, excuse me. They wouldn't care.
Oh.
And I think that's the worst thing you can do with a movie.
Okay.
Now that scene, that's what it felt like. I was like, man, like it.
No. I mean, I think I did what you're saying, but like, because obviously action wise, it was okay
Mhm,
for action direction.
mhm,
And it only had maybe like one twist and turn.
mhm.
It did drag on just a little bit long, but for me, I thought I liked the low stakes of it. Where like, obviously in the grand scheme of things, it was only for 600 pounds, which I don't know what that is American dollars.
I think it's like
$500,
$400, something like that.
But
I know some British guy's gonna stumble onto this and
Be
be
like-
like, stupid fucking Americans.
you have computers.
Why don't you use
phones.
the metric system, you fucking retard?
But so in the grand scheme of things, obviously when you, especially in context with later in the movie, it's very low stakes. But I enjoyed it because of its personal stakes. Because obviously she's refusing to take the inheritance,
Mm-hmm,
and so she's struggling to make ends meet from month to month,
mm-hmm.
and then the chance to pay at least like a month, maybe 2 months rent ahead of time, like.
I can see where you're coming from.
But I can't argue with the fact that it did drag on too long,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of a weird detour because I already thought they had done just fine with the characterization,
Mm-hmm.
but
Well, it felt like to me like it was literally a means to get her to talk to her aunt, which is
was that her aunt?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because she's like, I miss Richard, and they mentioned that she's the sister of Mr. Lord Croft.
Oh man, I must have missed that.
Oh yeah,
I knew she
It's
was.
his sister because she's kind of like running the company.
Mm-hmm.
While
I just thought she was like I don't know how to describe it, like Tim Cook to Steve Jobs, like
mhm.
kind of
like just a family friend or something.
yeah, like that family friend from Tron.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that, where it wasn't like
literally Tron.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
no,
I want
okay.
to talk about that movie one day.
Oh,
Tron
we will.
Legacy. Both Trons actually.
I haven't seen the original Tron, but I enjoyed Tron Legacy.
I gotcha. Well, I have a soft spot for it. I know a lot of people kind of think it's dull, but I really enjoyed that fucking movie. I love the score. I loved all of it.
I love the atmosphere. I thought it would be like, because obviously David Fincher is a director who he didn't do Tron Legacy, but like his other movies like Zodiac and like
Mm-hmm.
Curious Case of Benjamin Button are
Mhm.
obviously not like high octane action movies.
Yeah.
But I always felt
Kind
like
of
Tron.
slow burn.
Yeah, like I always felt like Tron Legacy was if David Fincher decided to do an action movie.
Kind of a slow-ish burn. I
Yeah.
guess. I got
Like
you.
a slow action movie.
Yeah.
Like there were some like peeps, but a lot of it was like
I don't know what that is.
that
but,
like that's Daft Punk soundtrack.
oh, yeah.
Like-
Yeah, don't, because I'll go into like this hour spiel
Okay.
about how I feel
Um,
that Daft Punk's score was just snuffed by like everybody in the movie business. You know?
Really?
Like like the whole movie just kind of got tucked under the rug.
Oh,
They were
that
gonna do a 3, and they had this show that was amazing.
Tron Uprising, I believe.
Yeah,
I haven't
it was
seen that.
it was so good.
Huh.
But that's a completely different.
Yeah.
thing. But I felt like that scene with the foxtail,
hmm
and I thought she was gonna wear it. I thought it was like, hey, that's pretty cute.
That's what I thought too when they first dropped it, and then like when they first showed the foxtail, and I was like,
Yeah, it was like on her like bike post. I'm like,
mhm,
oh,
that makes more
that's,
sense.
I thought she would, come get me guys with my little foxtail. But moving on. But yeah, it just felt like a means to an end. To
Mhm.
like get her to talk to her aunt, and then she does, and then she's the boardroom scene where she's signing the papers or
She's
going
about
to,
to,
about
yeah.
to, and he hands her like this Japanese puzzle box,
Mhm.
which I've never seen anything like that. But there might be,
Yeah.
it might be out there. I don't know.
I'm not exactly a professor of Japanese puzzle boxes, so
Yeah, I mean,
have you seen their? Have you
it
seen
looked like a puzzle box.
It did.
It didn't look like Hellraiser's puzzle box.
But have you seen like Japanese woodworking?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
It is.
They
So
do some impressive stuff with wood.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made like puzzle boxes too.
I don't know. But so she finds a key,
Yeah, like
and-
while in the boardroom, she's playing with the
Yeah.
puzzle box.
and there's a puzzle,
Mhm.
which you got to do puzzles in the game. You got to do puzzles.
So many puzzles.
Laura's, she got to do puzzles, and then she solves this little puzzle, and she finds her dad's secret room, which
hmm
I was sitting in the theater, and like sometimes like jokes will just come into my head,
hmm
and I was sitting there and like I was like, she'll turn on the. Okay, so this is how the script goes. She walks in,
hmm
dark. Okay, very curious. What's going on? What's happening? She turns on the light. There's hentai all over the walls.
Okay.
Oh my god!
See, I was going to go a different way.
My dad was a weeb.
See, I was going to go. I was thinking the 180 where she was going to turn on the light, and then her dad was going to be sitting there like mummified, just like he had trapped himself in the office,
Oh man!
and then just like
See, that would have been.
dead at the desk.
I would have been discussing that scene a lot more.
hmm
Because like, what? Why? Like, why did he go in there and just die?
Well, like in my head, I was just imagining that he had locked himself in
Yeah.
the office by accident.
I, he's that paranoid.
That's the joke that my head went to.
I gotcha. I guess we think quite differently.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not funny unless there's a dead corpse at the end of it.
or I got nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But she finds all his research in a video note.
which I watched some reviews and they were all joking about how that camera still has battery life,
Oh, I know.
and I'm like, yeah, because like my mind immediately went there.
hmm
'Cause I was just saying, because usually when I'm in a movie, I'm just kind of taking it in, good, bad, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't usually kind of think outside the movie, but I did. I was like, why do movies do that? Like, damn well that battery's gonna be fucking dead after 7 years.
Of sitting.
And I also thought, like, I looked at the camera and I was like, that's a 7-year-old camera. That's like a 15-year-old camera. It's like
It is
this old
really
Sony.
old.
Still use tapes.
Oh, I'm trying to think of like 7 years ago. What year
I mean, you're literally talking about 2011.
Yeah.
There were, you know,
Well,
SD cards and
that might have
shit
just
like.
been his personal camera from
I guess. I don't know.
2008, 2008.
So basically, what you take away from the scene is Lord Richard, the Lord of the Manor,
Lord Croft.
has found a tomb with Queen
Himiko?
Himiko.
Himiko.
Yeah.
Himiko.
Which I can't remember the name of the
Island?
legend in the game,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Because the game had this kind of, I should say, like canny words.
They're hard. They're tough sometimes.
This kind of, I think it was a Chinese legend,
Mm-hmm.
Japanese legend, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure. And that was kind of cool because I was like, oh, well, that is just like the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that whole legend about the Death Queen and stuff. I think they tweaked it a bit,
Yeah.
but it was kind of nice to see. It was
Okay.
kind of nice to see the game on a movie that was, you know, like, hey, that's from the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the Resident Evil where, oh, well, you know, guy with a chainsaw, Alice shoots him in the face with quarters, you know. Oh, you haven't seen any of that?
I have not seen. Confession time. I have not seen any of the Resident Evil movies.
So I think I might have to sit down here by myself and tell our audience exactly why all of those movies are terrible.
Even the first one? Like all of them are bad?
Well, the first one kind of came the closest to the games,
Mm-hmm.
but it still didn't kind of get where it needed to be. And then the second one, and this is where it stops for me. The second one was fun. It was cool.
Yeah.
And instead of like CG Nemesis, which is the guy with the no lips and he's got the Dracula. No, you don't know none of that.
I know there's like an umbrella is the theme of the series.
Okay, you just need to stop talking for a minute.
Mila Jovovich is in it.
Mila Jovovich. Which was 14 when she started out.
In Resident Evil?
No.
Oh, okay. I've never seen them.
Who are you? What are you doing? Stop. But no, the second one like had Nemesis, and he was like a guy in a suit, and it looked really cool. And that was about it. That's the only thing I like about those movies.
And then, so you've seen all of the rest of them? So you've seen 3
I saw all the rest ones because I'm a super fan of Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, if you get shot in the leg,
yeah,
you always want to take off the bandage and look at it.
Yeah.
No matter how gory and terrible it is.
That's
what's kind of like, oh my god.
That's the movie series is right?
That's the equivalent of the Resident Evil series for me.
Holy shit.
Like, it shot the series in the foot, and now I'm taking off the bandage to kind of look at it for a minute.
As someone...
And be grotesque by it.
As someone who has seen Justice League in IMAX, I feel the same way about DC.
Ooh. Yeah.
Having seen all of the DC movies in theaters,
I saw... the only one I saw in theaters was Batman v Superman.
I'm so sorry.
And I regretted it as soon as like the credits started.
Was it the 6 months ago, and then it was the attack on Metropolis?
No, it was.
Was it the realization that Metropolis and Gotham were on the same river?
They were literally across the river,
The fuck
like
was that?
Indiana and Kentucky. You know,
that blew me away.
I don't. I can't even.
Oh my god.
But it back to Tomb Raider.
Yes.
I'm sorry, people. We just We just see so many movies, and it's just like
There's so many
that's
movies.
the thing about today's movie industry. It's like I'll watch a movie,
Yeah.
and then I'll think of another movie, and then I'll tangent down into this like old movie that was better than all those other movies that I'm talking about.
It's like a mental Wikipedia.
Yeah.
It's awful.
And therein lies the reason we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she finds this legend, and at first he's like, destroy all my research of it, get rid of it all, and I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then he gives the reason why. I'm like, that's stupid. Like, you're telling me this evil organization out there is trying to get the power of this
Well,
thing, and I'm like, that's dumb. I don't like that.
What I didn't understand was that. So he's. So what I understand was that okay. So let's jump ahead just a little bit and then backtrack. So on the island, she meets her dad, and her dad has been voluntarily spoiler.
Her dad's alive.
Her dad's alive. He has been on the island, trying to stop this Trinity company from accessing the tomb, and he's been leading them up and down the island with false leads, so they can't find the actual entrance to the tomb. And
so, hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
So Trinity.
Okay. Oh, is that in the game?
Damn. I don't know.
Okay.
I
I
haven't played the game in a while.
Okay. What were you gonna say?
Well, Trinity is their excuse to make an extended universe.
Yeah. Because I remember reading about it, how they were gonna try and tie it to Uncharted and Just Cause.
Mm-hmm.
Which
please don't. Just don't. Please don't.
Why you
movie
didn't?
Industry, please just.
Did you not
just
like?
Make good movies.
Did you not like how it worked in Dark Universe with the Mummy?
The only Dark Universe movie, The Mummy, which I've seen.
What are you talking about? What about Bride of Frankenstein, which has indefinitely been postponed?
Indefinitely postponed? Really?
Last I heard.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Shocker.
They had attached Javier Bardem as Frankenstein, and then Bill Condon, I believe, was to direct it. And
Man, he would have been kind of a cool Frankenstein.
He would, yeah. I don't know who the bride would have been. Hopefully not Helena Bonham Carter, but
Helen Mirren or something.
Oh my god, fuck yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just making a joke.
No. Think about it, an older bride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But she's practically a mummy anyway, so. Ouch. My bad. I'm sorry.
Ooh. But no. So he is on the island, voluntarily staying there to help prevent Trinity finding the tomb.
I'm thinking of the comments right now. Like, what the fuck you got against Helen Mirren?
Yeah. She's a goddamn saint.
She is a precious person in Hollywood right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I got nothing against her.
Yeah.
But
no, yeah. So the dad, Lord Richard Croft, is on the island, and he's voluntarily staying to help prevent Trinity from accessing the tomb. But yet, he makes it sound like when he's got to the island, then they showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to the island looking for the tomb, then they showed up, and he's like, "Oh shit, this is bad."
It sounded like to me
Mm-hmm.
that Richard showed up with them because later in the movie,
yeah,
we find out the stuff they're using,
mm-hmm.
Croft Industries or whatever uses them. Like they own that company.
The Patna.
Yeah,
the secret Trinity name.
I don't know. But he sounds like he went there with them with what's his name?
Oh, Walter Goggins.
Yeah, Mr. Goggles.
Matthias Vogel is his character's name.
Yeah, Matthias. It sounded like they went with them together,
mm-hmm.
and they were like, we were going to use her for whatever reason. It's literally Trinity. Literally sounds like Hitler's cult squad from back in
mm-hmm.
The 40s and World War II, basically.
Oh, okay. I think I did what you're saying. Was that so the flashback that they didn't show
Hmm.
was Richard Croft going with his whole Trinity Petna
Well, not
expedition.
Trinity
Yeah,
with
yeah,
with that other company that's like disguised as Trinity.
yeah. Or
Um,
Trinity is disguised as what was it in Patna Limited?
I don't know.
Yeah, Patina. I don't
Like
know.
like I guess I think that symbol's in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm not sure. I probably should have played some of it before I said
No,
this.
it's
But
okay. But
um,
no. So
but
you're saying that like so he went with Patina to the island, and then like once on the island, Patina kind of turned
mhm.
and became.
Not really turned, but like he found out what they were actually going to use it for,
Mm-hmm.
and Richard was like, "No, I ain't fucking doing that. That's bullshit."
Mm-hmm.
And um, Walton's character is like, "Okay, well, I'll just kill you," and then he doesn't kill him, and he gets away, and he's just been hiding out on the island.
Okay.
And when I said like Hitler's like cult squad,
Mm-hmm.
like there was a team that just went around looking for occult stuff,
Mhm.
like supernatural shit.
Yeah.
That's what this was. It Maverick, right?
What's that?
Maverick or the Secret Ordination? What was
Oh, Trinity
it? Trinity
disguised as.
Legacy, something like that.
Oh, are you talking about Hitler's thing?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the movie, man.
Okay.
But it's like
So many topics.
It sounds like they're like going around the world looking for like supernatural stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. It sounds
For
just
like weaponizing
like
it.
Hitler squad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And so she. So I think like that's what happened. Like, but I kind of wish they would explain that a little bit more because we just kind of find her father on the island. He just kind of stumbles in, is like into the movie pretty
Yeah.
much. But going back, she's like, okay, I'm gonna go find my father. This Himiko legend.
mm-hmm.
There's an island. There's coordinates. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So she sells her jade pendant to Nick Frost, which I didn't know was in this fucking movie.
Alan the pawn.
He's
pawn
got this
shop
big
worker.
bushy beard, and the thing is, like, he's in the trailer, and
I didn't see the trailer.
I didn't even like. I saw the trailer like once,
Yeah.
and I guess I just kind of forgot he was in there. But he comes back and he's pretty great. He's awesome.
Yeah.
There's some funny stuff. And she pawns off this jade necklace that her dad gave her earlier in the movie
Mm-hmm.
when she was a little girl. Cool, I guess. Seen it many, many times.
Yeah.
That's fine. So she gets the money. She goes to Hong Kong. And the movie was kind of like, we need something to happen.
Oh, I hated this too. Yeah.
We need something to go on. So she's on the docks looking for a boat. That
Looking
her
for
dad hired.
Lynn Rain.
Lou Ren.
Lou Rain. Yeah.
Lou Ren, the captain. And these three punks just kind of rob her.
Yeah.
And there's this like chase scene through the boats of Hong Kong harbor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is so bland. Like, why did this need to be here?
Well, for me, the things I always look for in action sequences where, because obviously the status quo has to change after the action scene, or it's literally a pointless action scene. And she ends up getting her boat bag back, and then nothing happens to the kids other than they get scared of the boat captain,
which is a drunk.
Yeah. And then that's it. Like, if she had walked and found him and then walked onto his boat and woke him up, nothing would have changed.
Yeah. Like, it was
like,
pointless.
It would have been no different.
The director was like, we need something in this movie to be exciting.
I was waiting for, like, the backpack to fall in the water and her books to be ruined. Or all of a sudden she loses the 9,000 pounds she gets from Nick Frost.
Yeah.
Like, she loses that, and then she has to go to the boat captain with, like, no ticket home, no money, and being like, you want to help me on good faith?
Well, so to speak of that, like she could have been like, "Oh, well, I know where your father is.
Hmm.
We can go find him together. Yay!"
Yeah, which is kind of what happens.
I mean, that was kind of, but he did get paid. So,
Yeah. So
whatever.
because nothing happened in the action sequence.
Which I was like, really? I mean, so dumb. Anyway, and then what happens? Oh, so she finds this boat captain, which is
Mhm.
played by Daniel Wu. He's a drunk. We have her father is the one that's got Richard to the island, and he's gone. So they're like, oh, like both our fathers, you know?
I thought that was kind of
Hey.
weird too. Like
I was like, wow, what a coincidence
that
this
is
is.
pretty high on the coincidence meter.
And that's terrible, but whatever. And so, long story short, on that, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to do some playful banter
Hmm.
and act like I'm drunk, and
Well,
then go to the island."
I thought it was kind of funny because they ditched any pretense of him having a problem, drinking problem.
Yeah.
Once they set sail, that was
Well, to
it.
be fair, like the movie basically fast forwards. Like
Hmm.
she gets to the boat, they talk about like the scene where they're trying to figure out coordinates, and she's like all high and mighty, and he basically solves the riddle like
Hmm.
you know
Easy peasy.
easy peasy, and she's just like pretty much,
Yeah.
and they just kind of fast forward to like they're going to the island on a boat, and
Hmm.
he's like, oh, it's super dangerous, and we're probably gonna die.
It's in the middle of the Devil
It's
Sea.
the Devil's Sea. Woo, spooky. I'm like, well, aren't you a captain? Shouldn't you know like weather patterns and shit like that?
Hmm.
Like, because like at the end of the movie, we find out what we find out, which I'll get to, and that storm had nothing to do with anything. It was just a storm.
Yeah.
So aren't captains supposed to know like the weather?
Well, I think it's very weird that the only storm that they experience on the
Mm-hmm.
island, near the island,
Mm-hmm.
is the one at the beginning. Because I
Yeah,
think it
you're right.
rains one other time, but it's not really storming. It's just a rain
Yeah.
when she meets her dad. Yeah.
Um, which, whatever. I
Yeah.
guess we gotta get the boat to the thing. But I will give the movie credit that boat scene
Hmm.
is from the game, like where it crashes and
Yeah.
shit, and she's climbing and jumping off the boat and stuff. That was from the game. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. No, there was one part where, like the side of the boat was collapsed in, and then she had to like climb it along like monkey bars,
Mm-hmm.
and then
That was from the game.
yeah, that felt straight. Like I never played the game, but
Mhm.
that felt straight from a video game.
Yeah.
Where it's like now press X to jump,
Um,
press X repeatedly to climb.
Yeah. So I mean, that's that sequence. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I
liked
liked it.
She gets to the island. She swims,
Hmm.
and be a short movie if she didn't.
The end.
Yeah, the end.
Then
And,
you have the aunt back in like London going, "Well, I guess they're both dead. I
yeah,
guess I get all the money."
all the money and all the power. Oh no. And so she gets to the island, and this is where the movie like it's kind of boring for me.
Yeah.
Because it goes into like generic territories.
Hmm.
So she meets Matthias,
Hmm.
Matthias or whatever.
Yeah, because they did two different pronunciations.
Is it Matthias
The
or Mathis?
when he first introduced himself, it sounded like Matthias.
Matthias.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I've only met one other person named Matthias, so I was like, very obscure name to choose from.
Yeah.
And then elsewhere it sounded like someone. I think the dad said like sounded like Matthews,
Yeah.
and I was like, but most of the time they call him Vogel.
Well, I'm just gonna call him Goggles.
Goggles.
Walton Goggins.
It's like I'm not gonna butcher that character's name, but that actor's name.
I mean, I don't care. I kind of when I say names,
Mhm.
like I don't want to butcher the actor's name. because it's an actual person.
Yeah.
But like, I don't give a shit if I say Laura Croft or something.
Yeah.
You know, oops, my bad. I meant Croft. You know, I don't care. Whatever. But I'll try my best.
Yeah.
Um, but so the movie gets really boring
Mm-hmm.
in this area, which is supposed to be like the exciting parts, you know?
Well, for me, I basically liked any scene that had Goggins in it because
I do like.
I
I
really
like
liked him
him.
as an actor.
He was really good in
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. He was really good in that. Justified. He was
Mhm.
on there, and I fucking love Justified. That was filmed in Kentucky. Though.
Yeah, Harlan County is where it's set, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
But
And I like the actor. He's a
Mhm.
good actor. He does some like really. He does a really good sleazy guy.
yeah.
Um,
He's terrific at it.
yeah.
Like,
But here he's kind of like supposed to be this reserved, like tyrant over
yeah.
these people, um, and I just didn't buy it. I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like, and he's really reserved. Like it almost felt like he didn't. Not saying like he didn't want to be there in the hot, Amazon filming this video game movie, but I'm not saying he.
Well, I think the problem was that they.
Like I just didn't like his performance.
Mhm.
It was very bland.
Well, I think
But
unfortunately.
he did a good bland. I guess. I mean, it's really hard to kind of like pinpoint it because some parts he's like really good,
Mhm.
and then other parts he's just like whatever. Bang
What,
bang, I'm the bad guy.
I thought the character was pretty two dimensional in its writing. Like I liked where they obviously gave him clear motivations,
Hmm.
but unfortunately,
Like he wants to get home to his family,
yeah,
which I was like, well, you could have done a better job
of finding the
of
two.
making him more not like a
Oh.
villain, but like this man's been stranded here for 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
hasn't seen his family, and you could have flushed out like why he's like it would have been a better movie if let's say they get to the island with
Mm-hmm.
Richard,
Yeah.
Lord Richard, and there's a whole crew with him of Chinese workers
Mm-hmm.
and some military guys with him.
Yeah.
And they all get there and they all have like good intentions. We're here to make some money.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing crazy, nothing. But then like their company strands them on there,
Yeah.
and then it all goes to shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he slowly de-evolves into this like just bastard. But like all he wants to do is go home. You
Yeah.
know? But we get to the island and he's already the bastard. He's already a shithead.
Mm-hmm.
He shoots people like without who cares, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck this person. And you never really get a reason why. Is it just like some bad guy? And they tried to be like, oh well, he wants to see his family. Well, you didn't tell me that. I mean, you did, or excuse me, you didn't flush it out enough
Yeah.
for me to give a shit about this guy.
They only told you, they never showed you.
I think the best villains in movies are people that I care about.
Mm-hmm.
Like I care. I mean, not like, oh, I care about
But where like their point of view made sense.
makes sense, and you're kind of like, well, I understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand why he's that way, and if a bad guy is in a situation that I could be like, well, that might happen to me one day,
Mm-hmm.
and anybody would break under that kind of condition, and flesh that out more. I would have been like, hey, this is a cool guy. This is or not a cool guy, but a cool character, cool bad guy.
Yeah, but I never. I agree. I never got the impression that like he had truly broken from having been there for 7 years.
Yeah.
Without his family.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never. Because we got that brokenness from Sir Lord Richard Croft.
Yeah, we did
Yeah,
a little
but
bit of it. Yeah,
well, you never got that from him.
which never made sense to me because I'm like, so okay, so I'll just get to that part.
mhm.
So we meet the bad guy, and they put Laura to work, which, well, I'm not going to get into it, but um, what?
What?
Nah, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Well, I'm just saying, like, that's a really dangerous place for a woman to be,
Yeah.
and it's very dangerous. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? But they just kind of put her to work, which I was like, okay, good,
Yeah.
because I don't want to see any of that type of stuff.
No, no.
And a fucking Tomb Raider movie, which they did in the game too. Like they locked her up, and But like the thing was, the reason I'm even bringing that up is a lot of people when the game was first coming in,
Yeah.
it's rated mature,
Yeah.
so they were like, "Man, what the fuck's gonna happen to Laura?" But it's just violence,
Oh, okay.
and I'm like, "That's good. I don't want that."
Yeah.
Um, but so they put her to work, digging out the holes and excavating.
I'm so sorry. I
Well,
can't hear like people talk about digging holes without thinking of like holes. Gotta dig them holes.
you talk about the Shia LaBeouf movie,
Yeah.
digging them holes. What is it? 6 feet wide, 6 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Length of your shovel.
Oh yeah. And then Sigourney Weaver with her venom nails and shit. And then John Voight just like this sick,
As Mr.
lovesick
Sir.
puppy
Yeah, and then
for Sigourney Weaver.
you had Tim Blake Nelson. You had
I
Dule
think
Hill.
I think that was the last great Shia LaBeouf movie.
Oh fuck.
Because after that, I think he did Transformers, didn't he?
No, there was gotta be something like in the middle. There's like Disturbia, which I really liked. Where it was like his version of Rear Window.
Oh, where he's like stuck. He's on
Mhm.
house arrest.
Yeah,
Oh, well, yeah, that was a pretty good. Movie.
yeah.
That wasn't too bad. Yeah,
I thought Eagle Eye had
Eagle Eye
potential.
it sucked. It was pretty bad.
It's been years since I've watched it.
You remember when like the twin is like circling around the room, talking to himself or something, to like throw off the computer? Do you remember?
No.
That? You don't remember that?
Wow, no, I didn't rewatch it.
No, you don't. Trust me. But okay, so she's excavating,
Yeah.
and
then
then
she
the
escapes.
Lou Ran he survives and gets
Oh
captured,
yeah, yeah.
which is it's funny about this guy's character because like he's known her for probably a day and a half, and he is already just thirsty. He's like dehydrated, thirsty for Laura. And
Oh, he's got a fever, and the only prescription is
some Laura Croft.
Yeah.
Which is odd because I always hate that. Because, like, I understand, like, there's people out there that, after a couple days, they're like, hey, I like you.
Yeah.
You're really hot. And that's fine. Even, like, at a bar, you can say that.
Yeah, after an hour or two.
But, like, she's here to find her, like, father,
And like, well, I never got the impression that he was gonna do anything about it.
Well, that's true. I'll give you that.
Like, it was always one of those like.
But you could tell.
Yeah. Oh, you could tell because
like,
it was pretty subtle.
Like he had like an out, and he was like, "No, I have to stay and help Laura.
Yeah.
I have to wait for her." And,
why?
Yeah, why? But I understand. I mean, she's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl.
She makes a couple jokes in this movie.
She does.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple quips. Some good quips.
I don't know. I was trying to surprise at the low number of quips from Lara Croft in this movie.
I mean, the game doesn't have a lot of quips.
Yeah, but
it's pretty. It's like the Dark Knight of Tomb Raider. It seriously is. It's dark and gritty and realistic and
Well, I thought the Dark Knight had lots of quips.
well, I mean from the Joker, but like it's
No.
coming from the mouth of like a psychotic person.
Oh, think about everybody. Like Lucius Fox has some quips in that movie where he's like, so you mean to tell me that the CEO of the $20 billion industry is cavorting around in the middle of the night as a man dressed up as a bat? And then
And
that's
you want to blackmail that man?
yeah. And then the accountant's like, no.
Like a submarine, Mr. Wayne. Like a submarine.
But
So
oh, he helps her escape.
yeah, he helps her escape. He gets shot.
Mm-hmm.
But he's all right. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
he's a
whatever.
tough guy. He's a tough guy.
He's a tough guy.
He'll be fine.
You know, he's got muscle,
Yeah,
sweaty.
yeah.
He's related.
He's wearing a boat.
You know.
Yeah.
And this is where the movie almost went off the rails for me.
Mm-hmm.
So she's running, and this guy, like one of his henchmen, is tracking her and
Rocket.
finds her.
Did he say the henchman's name was Rocket or something like that? Rocky or something?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Let's see here.
That's what I thought he said, and I was so surprised.
I think it's
What does it say? Dead air.
some of these. Oh yeah, some of these people actually got credit.
Oh, is the name?
Yeah, some weird crediting here.
Huh. I can only imagine.
Like
A
Jandre Leroux,
Yeah.
helipilot. He was the pilot in the helicopter. Or how about Antonio Akita
Mm-hmm.
as Nintin?
As Ninten, there's a character named Ninten.
Or Nitin? Nitin? I don't know, but he did say some weird name. What did you say it was?
I thought I heard Rocket,
Rocket?
which I was like, you fucking for real? But it might have just been Rocky.
I
Or
don't know.
Raka. But no, so he sends one of his top dogs to go track her down.
Track her down. Which he does in a very short amount of time.
And I'm
Oh, wait.
I'm kind of bummed that they didn't use the buddy system.
Yeah.
Like,
Another thing is, let me adjust this
Yeah.
mic.
righty tighty.
So there's a waterfall sequence inside of the game.
Oh, that was amazing.
That was pretty cool.
Hmm.
That was a good little sequence. Should have been cut up from all that rusty metal, but whatever.
Oh yeah, like she should definitely
yes,
have some shots.
I am that guy. I am that guy who thinks her hands are going to get cut up by rusty fucking metal in a movie.
Oh my god, no! I was thinking that too. I was thinking like
I'm like, oh man, your
I
hands
hope she
are
is
just going to be just destroyed.
up to date on those shots.
But that was a cool little thing. Like it kind of showed that like people have been on this island
Hmm.
before, and like plane crash.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was a cool little sequence. But that's all it was. It was just cool.
Yeah.
Didn't serve anything. It was just a getaway.
Like the most it served, I think, was to demonstrate her cleverness. I
Mhm.
guess.
Yeah.
Whereas, unlike the Hong Kong harbor chase scene,
Mm-hmm.
whereas like there was one moment where she was like, "Oh wait, they almost got away, but I can just loop around this clever way to catch up with them." But like that was just fucking pointless. But
Well, the thing is, like, and I hate to keep coming back to Indiana Jones,
yeah.
but like the chase scenes in that served a fucking purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll give you a great example, which is Lost Ark, where
Okay.
where he's chasing after the Ark,
Mm-hmm.
and it's exciting,
Yeah.
practical. Like this one was CG.
Oh, yeah.
CG. I'm sure she was doing the stunts. That's cool. I'm
Mhm.
about to. But it was practical and it was awesome. And then, what was the point of it? Oh, that's right. He got the Ark back.
Mm-hmm.
That was a point. There was a reason he was chasing after. There was a reason for the sequence.
Well, like for me, it's always like just like even in this one, there is a reason, and it's just survival.
Yeah,
But there's not really
yeah, I'll
like
give you that.
there's not really a change.
I mean,
There's not really a
there
shift.
doesn't need to be a change all the time. It
Mm-hmm.
just, but that's what separates like great adventure action films from just kind of generic action films. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, like trying to think of like another really good one, a good chase scene. Like for instance, the chase scene in Furious 8. Have you seen that?
No. Is that
It's like a
the
big
Fate of the Furious or something?
Yeah. This is a perfect example of one of those kind of like it's just a chase scene,
Mm-hmm.
and it's it's great because it's so ridiculous,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of like the difference, and that's why that movie made like $1 billion. The scene is them on ice, and
Oh, I've seen it in the trailer.
yeah, and there's a big fucking submarine,
Yeah.
and you're just so entertained by this
Mm-hmm.
ridiculousness. But this, she's being chased. She goes into the drink
Oh, okay.
down the rapids, and then she falls on a plane, and then she has a parachute,
Mm-hmm.
and she lands, and she's wounded a little bit, and then she scurry off to the beach.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying is that there's like the difference of intent,
Yeah.
whereas like Fate of the Furious is clearly there just to
The
for
thing
like
is,
shits and giggles.
well,
and,
shits and giggles is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was entertaining as fuck.
Well, that's what I mean. Like
This one was kind of just,
to give you.
we need something here.
Oh yeah.
Like
Insert
we need
action
something
scene.
to happen, something exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Which it was pretty exciting. It was
Mhm.
fun, but it wasn't great. It wasn't like I remember the Fast and the Furious submarine scene, but I will not remember this.
No,
in about 5 years.
I don't think I'll remember the plane falling, but shortly after that, the sun goes down. She's kind of wounded in her stomach. She pulls it out, like
Which I kind of like.
grits her
like,
teeth.
She
Yeah,
needed something, but then like it doesn't come up ever again.
yeah.
Really.
What
Well,
comes?
she gets punched there, I think, or kicked there. I think.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
she gets
that.
kicked, but like.
I just
I don't
remember
know.
like yeah. So she just little rusty piece of metal in her stomach.
I thought it was a stick, wasn't it? Was it just like a stick?
Oh, I thought it was a piece of metal.
I thought it was a stick.
Huh.
Anyway,
Well, she
was-
dislodges it.
it was some kind of sharp.
It was definitely shrapnel of a material
Yes.
sort.
Um,
Which she dislodges, and then after that, now limp, not really limping, but definitely holding her stomach.
mhm.
Some begins to say as she makes her way through the, and just trying to find the beach. When she is then stopped by Rocket.
I want it to be Rocket. But
I
I'm
want it.
not sure if it's
I-
Rocket.
I want it to be Rocket as well, but
But that's okay.
I'll have to rewatch the movie with subtitles.
Maybe.
That fight scene though, I did like. Like that was fucking brutal.
It was pretty rough. It wasn't like Mad Max Fury Road rough though.
Well, that action stuff is on a whole nother level.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
That stuff is fantastic.
And
But for me, like I
oh shit, my mic fell in. So probably tighten that up.
yeah.
Sorry about that, folks. Technical difficulties.
No, but what I loved about the Rocky fight scene was was how not only was it like brutal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're calling him Rocky now.
Oh, I thought it said Rocket. Did I say Rocky?
You said Rocky, I thought.
Oh shit.
Well, we have you on recording.
Fuck. The Rocket fight scene. The reason I like that one a lot was because it accomplished a lot of things. Like it showed how in the heat of the moment, where think about it, she couldn't fight another woman, her
Mhm.
own like weight bracket
Mhm.
in the beginning of the movie, but now like wounded fighting a guy like twice her size.
Mhm.
She manages to beat him, and then not only this, but she has to go like the full mile
Yeah.
and commit her first murder in self-defense.
Yeah. um, like there's a moment where she kills a guy,
Mm-hmm.
and you see it on her face, like she can't believe it.
Yeah, which is way better than the way it looked in Man of Steel. That's fucking awful. I hated that movie.
Oh boy, like it, I'm gonna deviate just for like a few minutes.
Please.
The the thing about that is a lot of people like Superman doesn't kill,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing is, I kind of liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, that makes him human,
Yeah.
and that was kind of like the theme of the movie, in some regard. Like, he's a god, but
Mm-hmm.
he wants to be human. Because there's like moments where like, you know, Mama Clark, Mama King, excuse me, is like um,
You gotta
I
say
can't
something.
remember some of these scenes, man. It's so forgettable. But like I'll just wrap it up. Like there were a couple of moments in the movie where the theme was like, are you human? Are you godlike? Whatever. And I felt like that part. I was like, well, that makes him really human
Mm-hmm.
because it's either this generic family down there in this chaos, which they shouldn't have been there in the first fucking place, or snaps out of that. And the whale was silly, but I understand why it was there.
Yeah.
Like he just killed someone.
Well,
In fact, he killed the
The
last
last
of
relative.
his kind.
Yeah.
So he is now. There was other people, and now he's the last again. So, but it was Zack Snyder. Stop.
It was.
Just stop.
I-
Zack Snyder did that one, right?
Yeah. No, like
just stop.
I did the intention.
Like have someone write your scripts for you, man.
Oh, you didn't enjoy David S. Goyer's wonderful rendition of Man of Steel?
Oh no, he was the best part of that movie. I will find him. I will find him.
Oh no, that's Michael Shannon. No, David S. Goyer is the guy
it
who
is
wrote
Michael
it.
Shannon. I feel dumb.
No, it's okay. If I remember right, David S. Goyer wrote Man of Steel by himself. Because like all of his work on the Batman trilogy was, co-written with Chris Nolan.
Mhm.
So we know who did the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
It wasn't David Goyer. But
Sorry, it's coming in on the phone.
Oh, it is?
The shaking of the day.
Oh shit.
Someone's gonna think we're in an earthquake or something.
Uh,
Let me point out, audience. We just got 2 mics in the computer right now,
yeah.
so sorry about that audio quality.
It's not even
on
like
PewDiePie's level yet.
it's not even fancy microphones or
I know.
but no, for me with Man of Steel, it was just I did the intention and I liked it. I liked that was such a interesting choice into where to take Superman, but it was so poorly executed.
Yeah.
Like after every time he does something bad or he like has a bad emotional thing, like if you watch that movie, he does a hug.
Yeah.
And like Amy Adams
all
out
Man
of
Steel
fucking
wants is a hug.
and he did some. He did so many hugs in
So
this
many
movie.
hugs.
I don't understand it. Like I just don't understand how like he's zipping around all of Metropolis, snaps Zod's neck, and then he gives a little, and then Amy Adams comes out of nowhere and goes,
I know.
"Come on, Clark, let's hug it out."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are
And then,
you kidding me?"
well, let's not deviate too much because then I'll get into Batman v Superman.
Oh, and that
And I should
wonderful
probably-
masterpiece.
I would sit here like 3 hours talking about that piece of shit.
Just as long as the extended version,
Anyway,
which I watched.
so she's in the storm. She kills the guy,
Yeah.
which is could have like gone somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But in the game, the same thing happens. Like she kills her first person, and she just like can't believe it. But like in a game, they can,
Yeah, in a game you
have
have
a nice long scene
14,
about it.
20 hours of gameplay.
This was like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Meh. But then like this is where it derails for me. Like her father comes out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like this. He looks like Robin Williams from Jumanji.
Okay, yeah.
Just out of nowhere. And she follows him up the mountain. She climbs up this mountain, by the way, this plateau, in the rain
Mm-hmm.
with her bare fucking hands.
And a stab wound to the gut.
And a stab wound, that's right. No hook. That hook thing.
That climbing hook.
That climbing hook. None of that.
Nope.
Which is in the game. Like, it's like one of her melee weapons.
Okay.
No, she just climbs barehanded up that mountain. Okay, movie. Okay. Anyway, so she finds her dad, and it was kind of cool. Like, he thought it was a hallucination.
Mm-hmm.
7 years, I would understand that.
Yeah.
And then they talk it out a little bit, and then he realizes that it's her, and they have the moment, and he stitches her up, and
do you mean it just derails like pace wise? Like, you think it just slows down?
no other movie, no other game has had that man alive until now.
Really?
Yeah. If they have, then I haven't seen it or played it. Because the first one was John Voight as Lara Croft's dad, and he's dead in the movie.
Yeah.
In the second movie. But this one, like, he's just alive.
There he
is.
I was just surprised that none of the games had.
No, I don't remember. I mean, I played 1, 2, 3, the new ones, and a couple of the PS2 ones.
Okay.
And I've never seen that man alive.
Huh.
And I'm like, that's different.
Yeah.
Dumb. Because Walton's character said already that he killed him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, you didn't do a very good fucking job, man. So, and
it just must have been the way where like
he's part of the movie now, and I'm like, I didn't like it.
Well, how else is?
But maybe that's my personal preference.
She's supposed to do all this exposition.
Well, by reading the fucking journal he has.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Oh, and the 7-year-old video camera with batteries still on it.
Oh, foolish me.
Foolishness. That's another thing. They explain the plot of like Himiko's like situation like 5 times.
At least 3 times before they even get to the tomb.
Yeah, and then they explain it again with the twist.
Inside the tomb, yeah.
So let me explain it to the audience real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, 1 minute. There was a woman who was called the Death God back in feudal Japan.
Queen.
And she was a
Himiko.
queen, and they called her the Death Queen. And she was sent to this island to like not kill people anymore with 1,000 of her maidens. And she was buried away. And that's it. That's all you need to say.
Yeah.
You know? And then you could slowly uncover like the mystery behind all that. But no, they just straight up just like, here's the legend. Let's go get it. You know? And that was pretty lame. But whatever. If you had good action scenes, which you don't. You have mediocre ones. And then, old Lord Croft is alive. And that's where it derailed for me.
Okay.
And then let's see. So they finally find the door to the tomb.
Yeah, because now Vogel has the journal.
Richard's journal, which she gets all pissy at Lara because she didn't burn it. I'm like, how did you expect her to find this place without that journal?
Well,
like, just seeing her would have been like, well, wait a minute, you didn't destroy all that shit that I told you to destroy.
Well, she could have found the coordinates and then destroyed all the stuff.
Don't make sense.
I'm sorry.
Stop it. Don't make me look stupid.
What I didn't like though was that scene was pulled straight from Last Crusade.
Yeah.
Where Sean Connery is like, "You brought the journal?"
Yeah.
He
Oh
was like,
man, that's a terrible Sean Connery.
oh, it's awful. He goes, I sent it to you to keep it out of their hands.
Oh man. Um,
Yeah, well, where's your fucking Connery?
I don't got a Connery.
Okay. I made the mistake of thinking I had one.
Trebek.
Shock.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But so this is because like I hit the table. So like so they find the door, and Richard just climbs up there for no fucking reason. Like he's supposed to be out of sight, out of mind, because it's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a shootout. See, this is the part of the movie where it gets blurry for me, because like it's so generic,
Yeah.
you know. And long story short, she has to solve a puzzle to save her dad from the bad guy.
Yeah.
And solving puzzles is the game, and apparently the movie too. Because you gotta solve them puzzles.
Well, of course. And who doesn't enjoy a National Treasure retread?
I love National Treasure.
I love National Treasure. I'm a huge Nick Cage fan.
If Nick Cage can do no wrong, in my opinion.
No. I loved him in Ghost Rider. Wild at Heart.
Some of Ghost Rider, but
Every scene with Nick Cage, I loved.
Nick Cage is off the hinges or in a bear costume punching women. I am on board. So
my only beef with Ghost Rider was the fucking the son of Satan, Wes Bentley.
Yeah.
From American Beauty.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this kid doing in here?
Like this kid's a loser. Get him out.
He's
and
a decent
every fight
actor.
scene's like 2 seconds long.
Oh, it was god awful.
But see, this is why we keep trailing off, because this movie's, you know,
and so indicative of other movies.
Yeah. So they go into the tomb. They find it. They open it. You know, and there's some cool little traps, and a couple people die. A couple of the henchmen. Not in horrific ways, because
it's like
it's PG-13.
Yeah. But one thing I didn't understand was, so they're going through, so the door to the tunnel collapses, and it's only been assembled once.
Yeah.
So it collapses and it falls down this huge chasm into the beginning of the tomb area.
Yeah.
So you then have to go down a rope with a pulley. So they do that, and then they go down these like floors with the pressure plates. And then they step on one of them incorrectly, and then spikes jut out from the floor and impale one of the tough guys with no name.
Yeah,
it might have been
Mercenary
Knee 10.
One.
Who knows?
Hey, at least I'm number one mercenary.
Suck it. No. So, and then the dad says, this wasn't meant to keep people out. This was meant to keep people in. And I was like, how can you tell? How can you tell that? Like,
I don't know.
I was so confused. I was like,
no idea why you said that.
Where's the evidence to tell you that? Like,
I mean, you understand, like, with the reveal, but at that moment, you're like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
He had no knowledge.
It's a trap. It's supposed to be put people out or in or whatever. Just
keep people from crossing.
Down that path.
Well, the spikes don't get you.
Yeah. So they get to the next puzzle room. Which I thought was.
What puzzle? The chasm? Chasm?
Yeah, the chasm with all the bodies, I guess.
I can't believe that's a chasm.
Just go over with a ladder.
Yeah. Puzzle solved.
I was like, that wasn't exciting at all.
No, because like when they
it's supposed to be like the death chasm.
Yeah, I know. The was it called the chasm of 1,000 souls or something like that?
Like a big hole with bodies in it.
Spooky skeletons. No, it was that one was kind of a letdown because I was just like.
And then they get to like where the floor falls down.
Okay.
Seen that in so many movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fuck. Like we got it. The floor collapses. She gets out. They all get. Actually, they all get out. No one died in that room.
No.
Actually. Um, and then they find Himiko in a big Chinese. You know, I can't remember what they're
Oh,
called.
is it like pagoda?
Is it a pagoda?
I don't know.
Hmm. Well, whatever it is, type it down there in the comments for
Yeah,
us.
it's clearly
Why don't you educate stupid people like us?
us who are not familiar with Japanese architecture.
Chinese. I can't remember if it's Japanese or Chinese.
I'm pretty sure it's Japanese.
Because like, there's Chinese people there. They even like speak Mandarin Chinese.
Oh, on the island?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like, is it Japanese legend?
I think it was a Japanese legend.
Okay. I'll go with it. Fuck it.
Yeah. What am I saying? But yeah, no. So they go into the almost a Japanese building inside the cave. Because that's how big the cave is.
Yeah.
It can fit it.
I mean, Mammoth Cave can fit structures like that in there.
Yeah. True.
Get wrecked.
But it's just like it's such a tiny island.
Well, there's a big ass mountain in there.
Okay.
Could be like at the top.
Okay, and then just carved into it.
Carved down in there.
Okay. That's right. I want to get into the nitty gritty of the logistical creation of this tomb. Okay. So the next 3 hours is going to be the tomb counter, and we're going to count how they made this tomb.
So I'm
going to hijack this podcast.
They go into the tomb, and there's 1,000 maidens, just like the legend.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm about that.
Oh wait! Can we backtrack 1 second?
What's that?
To the floor with the falling out. Okay, so while they're in the room, and the room begins to pieces fall, 2 big stone wheels turn, thus cutting off the entrance and the exit to the room.
I've never seen that in a movie before.
No, never. And obviously, we've never seen a person manage to duck out onto the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But what blew me away was like I was so confused as to why. So in order to surprise.
Oh, that's our roommate. My roommate. Did we wake you? My bad.
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, we're in the dining room at our table here. Chit chat
away. No. So in order to solve the puzzle, light had to be coming into the room through a hole in the stone wall that now appeared.
Yeah.
Without that other guy on the other side shining a flashlight, that would have never happened.
Wow, what a coincidence.
Yeah, like I just don't.
Just what?
Am I thinking too much about it? And I just
no, because I don't. I mean, I have to go back to Indiana Jones. I mean, a lot of shit made sense.
Yeah.
Like I can understand like dart traps, keep people out. Spike traps, those are cool. The invisible bridge.
Oh, that you have to have faith.
That you have to have faith. I understand that completely. But this one, I was like, well, if there's no light, then you're just going to die.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it. How you face Kineko's faces or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, to be fair, if that dude didn't step on that plate, like, which... after the first guy died, I would have been looking at every step I took.
Oh, yeah.
But movie, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's now made her way, fast forward, she's made her way into the resting place of Himiko.
Or is it Himiko, right?
Himiko?
I don't know.
Me neither. I believe it's
played by Helen Mirren. I really have nothing against Helen Mirren. Just
you better not.
Around.
She's a goddamn saint.
So this is where I just like put my hand in my face.
Mm-hmm.
So the big reveal.
Yeah.
They open the tube. Oh my god, is she gonna come alive? It's gonna be spooky. No, it's a virus.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a stem-born
Yep.
touch spread virus.
Apparently, the legend is she didn't want to kill anyone because she was a carrier of this virus.
Mm-hmm.
So she locked herself away.
Oh,
that
was nice of her.
Thanks. You didn't kill the world.
Yeah. All of a sudden, at the very end, I felt bad for this.
The virus is literally a super black plague, pretty much.
Oh, it's insane. It's
like it kills 2 of the mercenary number 2 and 3 like instantly. Like they get it on their skin.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense that this bad organization would want it to weaponize it.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like,
an
that
instant
didn't happen in
touch
the game.
death.
The game, it went batshit crazy. Himiko comes back to life and tries to steal a body of one of her friends in the game.
Yeah, that didn't.
And there's zombie soldiers and shit. And I'm like, well, why didn't you just do that? It would have been better than the fucking Mummy. I mean,
I still want to see that. I still haven't seen it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Better have a drink. But yeah, it's a virus. That's it. And it just, I'm not gonna say this movie's shit
Mm-hmm.
because it's not. But man, it's so middle of the road. It did the worst thing a movie could have done for me. Just made it bleh.
Just kind of shrugged.
White bread. So I guess we'll wrap it up. So the virus, and they have some fight scenes,
Mm-hmm.
and the bad guy gets the virus on him. He doesn't even say an ending line, I just wanted to see my family again or something. He just I'm a bad guy, and then just falls into the pit of death.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lara gets her signature pickaxe from the game and escapes.
Oh yeah.
Because old Ren's out there waiting for her.
Yeah, that's right. That whole I was waiting for that subplot to develop, and then it went nowhere.
Yeah, he was just kind of out there waiting.
They had a whole scene where
she was like, "I'm gonna go after her," and he doesn't. He just kind of gets to the door and waits.
Mm-hmm. Just what I was waiting for was for.
I'm like, you're gonna be even more thirsty when she gets out. Sees you just standing here doing nothing.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Because what I thought was going to happen was Matthias Vogel was about to chip the ladder off the Chasm of Souls, and then I thought we were going to get the scene where the ladder is about to fall, and then all of a sudden from the darkness comes Lu Ren's hand clutching the ladder.
Yeah.
Right.
Or grabs her hand from the pickaxe. She stabs the pickaxe into the ground.
Oh yeah.
She's climbing up.
She's reaching up.
He would be there.
Yeah, that'd be bitchin' too. Oh, that'd probably be better.
Yeah. No, that doesn't happen.
No. She does it all by her own. She don't need no help.
And then she goes back to the company after a grand adventure, quote unquote grand. And she signs some paperwork, and she realizes that McCroft Industries owns the company that was on the island, the mercenary group.
Patna or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't fucking care. And there's foreshadowing that her aunt was part of Trinity.
Secret society.
Yeah. The Illuminati's real, confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Lara Croft 2, 2020. Man, I just... Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, let's stop with the universe stuff, man.
Well, I don't know. I think it's a great setup for future Tomb Raider
sequels,
movies.
You think?
Yeah.
A universe?
But if it's a universe thing, which they could easily do it.
Tom Cruise.
What's that?
The Mummy.
Oh my god.
The new Mummy. That's what happens in that movie.
That's what I've heard.
He turns into the new Mummy. The ending of the movie.
I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, whatever. You want to torture yourself? You go right at fucking end.
I do. I watched the. Oh, what the fuck was that Muppet movie? The Great Caper,
The Great.
where they go to London to
Okay.
solve a mystery. It's fucking god awful.
I'm personally a Muppet Treasure Island guy
Oh, well, that's fantastic.
with Tim Curry.
That's so fucking good.
So good. Anyway,
And then I was
let's
always
wrap
a
up this
Muppets from
Tomb Raider
space.
real quick.
Yeah.
Because this thing will be forgotten in like a week. So she finds out that her aunt's probably Illuminati confirmed and all that, and then she goes out and buys 2 big guns, her signature guns.
Of course.
It's in the trailer. She'd be like, "I want 2 of them," and then the movie ends,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, that's it. Nick Frost is at the end, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That made the ending just like a little bit better.
I hope to goodness that Nick Frost is in. If they do make more, Nick Frost is in.
He's just a pawn shop guy.
Well, no, I'd love them to be the.
Why is she buying guns from a fucking pawn shop, by the way?
I don't know.
Like, she's rich now. Like, she
Yeah.
signed the papers. She has the manor. She got money.
She shouldn't be buying used guns from a pawn
Like,
shop.
she should be buying guns from, like, the guy from John Wick 2 that did the suit for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, business or personal, sir? Personal. Thank you.
But
Thank you, Miss Laura. Would you like 2 of these? Yes, I would. Thank you. But no, she goes into like this shitty pawn shop. Oh, wait a minute.
It's to buy back the jade necklace, yeah. And she just
I feel dumb now.
happens to catch her eye.
Why is a pawn shop in the middle of London selling weaponry like that?
Well, it's established that they shouldn't be.
Like, she saw it from the window.
Yeah, just one of them left it open. The little gun cabinet that should not have been open.
I'm probably thinking too much.
Well, they clearly shouldn't have wrote those. I mean, like, they wrote lines of dialogue in the movie to explain it. Explain why there was nonsensical shit in the movie.
But overall, the movie... Oh, God, and the ending song for the credits?
Oh, I don't
know who it was, but it was so odd.
You know what it felt like? It felt like the fucking ending song for Thor. Wasn't the ending song for Thor like Foo Fighters or some shit like that?
Which, like, Thor 1?
Yeah, like 2011.
Man, I don't even know.
It was...
I don't know. It was just a strange thing that I remember about this. But overall, I mean, I left the movie theater. I was like, that was cool for $10. But it's so middle of the road that I can't recommend people go see it in theater. If it comes out on Netflix, which it will, because Netflix greenlights anything. There's a joke in South Park where a guy calls Netflix customer service.
Yeah.
Like, hello, this is Netflix. You've been greenlighted.
What?
And I'm like, it's kind of true. You know?
Oh, why didn't I think? We could have easily just called Netflix in our own show.
Pretty much. I mean, they gave the guy from the Super Show. I'm sure we could get one.
Oh, the Joel McHale show or Joe McHale?
Yeah, I love that fucking show. But overall, the movie's just really generic.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for an hour and a half of noise. You know, Alice looks and feels like Lara Croft. Everyone else just kind of felt there. She's really the star of the show.
I mean, as she should be.
Well, yeah, but, you know, sometimes the bad guy was still a show. Dark Knight. But sometimes, you know, but, you know, I liked her. I liked some of the moments from the video game, but the ending, that kind of generic action, generic bad guy. I can't recommend this. Unless you want to pay like a few bucks on a streaming service, or if you have, which is rare, but a
Rental.
movie store,
Mm-hmm.
um, which we have one here in Louisville actually.
Oh, the Family Video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, just pick it up, rent it, check it out.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people online like hailing that, she's a woman, she's powerful, and this and that. I'm like, well, that's fine, but there are better examples of strong women.
Alien.
Aliens. Well, even more than aliens. Mad Max.
Oh my
Fury
God! Yeah,
Road.
that's right. Yeah.
There's I could sit here and list a few.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I give the movie 5
Out of 10.
I can't recommend such a white bread kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of the game. I like the games.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed playing them. I went out and bought them. But as a movie lover, I can't recommend this too much. So
Okay.
yeah, 5 out of 10.
Me? I don't know. Maybe 7.5. Maybe 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, why are you thinking 8?
Well, I really liked it.
Give your examples. Show your work.
God damn it. Well, now that I think about it a little bit more, maybe more like 7.5. 7.5 out of 10.
So you enjoyed it a lot?
I wouldn't say I enjoyed it a lot. I'm still siding with you in the recommendation category of it's not worth running out to the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta see it this week.
Yeah.
But,
Besides, everybody's watching Black Panther anyway.
yeah, true. But spend $1.50 to rent it once it's on Redbox or rent it on your TV. Worth it.
Yeah.
Wait longer for it to come on the Hulu or Netflix is also good.
Because it will.
Yeah.
I almost guarantee it.
Yeah. But no, I liked it. I'm excited to see a sequel.
That is something I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
If they kind of brought in like what Laura's the games have been about, which is like crazy shit happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like she'll go down in a tomb and find like a T-Rex. Like that's awesome.
Wow.
Like I want to see that.
Yeah.
If you just go batshit with these movies, people will go see them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just going to sit there and make this generic, kind of Indiana Jones type ripoff, but I wanted more from it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted more from this movie because I do like the games, and I wanted to go down into a tomb and find a fucking T-Rex.
And
I wanted to find Ghost and
some actual supernatural stuff as opposed to something that was supernatural back then, but explainable nowadays.
Well, I mean, like,
it's as if they opened up the Ark and then it was like, oh yeah, that's just photon dispersion.
Yeah, or like even worse, what George Lucas was helming that movie, because I think he was, I can't remember what he did on that movie. I know he did something, didn't he? Wrote it or something?
Yeah, like he did the story credit for I think all of them.
Oh well, if he had his way, they'd open the Covenant of the Ark and it'd be a fucking alien body or some shit.
Well, if he had his way, it'd be
horrible. I mean, it'd be like some little fucking, be like some metal from a spaceship that could like read minds. Oh wait, he did do that. Sorry, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Oh man, that movie would have been so much better if you cut so much stuff out of it.
Yeah, they should have cut everything.
It's true, and just left up to imagination.
Throw the movie away and restart. But when George Lucas is signing the fucking paychecks,
he does what he wants.
He's gonna do whatever he wants. But whatever. So yeah, that was our review of Tomb Raider 2018. kind of some mixed opinions.
Yeah, I liked it, but
Why?
I don't know. Like that's the worst part was that I really can't defend it. Is that
Well, you can't because
it's only okay.
like if I go over here and be like, "Hey, that white bread's really good,"
Hmm.
you'll be like, "Well, it's just white bread, so what? It's not a big deal." You know,
Yeah, no.
like it's
Which which is why I can't like fully wholeheartedly recommend it.
no,
I
I
know
can't either.
I enjoyed it, but
It
then
was
like maybe I wasn't encumbered by like the outer reaches that the games went to.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I recommend you can go out and get yourself a PS4,
hmm
and I recommend sitting down and checking out the games, and then you kind of realize, well, I understand why 10 is kind of a little disappointing.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because like I played the games and they were a lot of fun, and they were based in realism, but then like they go batshit,
hmm
and that's awesome to me. But sometimes, these Hollywood execs just don't want that. I don't know.
Well, like one thing for me was I was trying to surprise at how little it went batshit just based on the previous Lara Croft movies.
Yeah,
Because like
the previous ones were like crazy.
hmm like
They
the
weren't
first one
good,
was like
but they were
the
crazy.
the first one required the planets to line up.
The
And then
planets line up. There's like time travel.
hmm
There's like this giant training robot.
and then
The giant like statue with several faces.
hmm and then the second one had the orb.
Yeah,
That
and all
like
these like generic monsters and
played
shit.
music too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
just see, you remember those.
yeah.
Because of that bad shit stuff,
hmm
right? But I ain't gonna remember this. I'm gonna remember one thing. Oh yeah, that's that movie where like there's a legend and it's like a disease or something, and that's it.
So in 5 years, you're gonna be like a Valley High girl.
In 5 minutes,
Oh.
I'm gonna be a valley girl because I've got me some Starbucks over here. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you basic. You basic.
Basic as fuck.
But
Delicious.
yeah. I just maybe it's just my excitement to see them branch out into that in sequels is what's tilting my review more positively. Is that
Yeah, but I
think it's
can't do that because like if I did that, Thor 2 would have been a great movie. Or something like, when I say that, like, we watched Iron Man,
hmm
right? And I hate to do this, but it's the perfect example of like sequeling
hmm
because it's a connected universe or whatever. If we watched Iron Man and it was great.
Yeah.
In fact, it's one of their best.
Yeah.
Still. But then you watch Iron Man 2
hmm
and you're like, well, the movie's garbage, but I'm going to give it a 7 because I'm looking forward to what's coming.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's the difference. Is I kind of liked Iron Man 2. I like Sam Rockwell.
Okay.
I like Mickey Rourke.
Okay.
I thought they were great.
It's okay to be wrong.
villains.
I'm messing with you. I mean, I didn't like it. Hell, I didn't even like Iron Man 3.
Well, no, that was.
But some people really love Iron Man 3, and I'm like, well, that's fine. I think we can all agree that Thor is very generic.
Oh, which one? Generic Thor or generic Dark Thor?
Like the first 2 Thor movies
Yeah.
are generic as fuck. Because no one cares about Thor.
Yeah, no,
but
God.
But that's my point, though. Like,
So
you can't... I can't judge this movie on what's to come. I have to judge it for what it is. And
true.
It's a generic, bland, survival action movie.
You got me. I now reset my rating. It will be a 6.5. 6.7.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I didn't mind your 7.5. I don't know why.
No, but I'm
Why you want
flexible.
to keep? I mean,
I'm just realizing that like
if you're sitting there like,
I shouldn't up it because of what I'm imagining improving in the future.
yeah, because here's the thing, it's probably not going to happen
Why can't I be crushing
because
my
it's
dreams?
not doing very well, you know.
Yeah.
But would I like to see a sequel? Yeah, I'll go see it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go see a sequel of this. You got to bring your A game though, if you want me to believe in it.
Yeah. Because
Because if you don't, then I'm not going to give a shit.
no, and I'm excited to see because like one thing I really liked about the originals were that Laura Croft herself was like almost a historian in the
Mhm.
same way that Indiana Jones was.
See, that's the thing. That's
As a-
another thing they didn't bring into the movie. I mean, like,
So
it's like she became a historian after she found her dad's stash of shit.
oh, and only
Her dad's stash of hentai.
and only and only in that genre of hentai was she a
Yes.
historian in.
Hentai
But,
is art.
Okay.
You ever seen that The Office?
Well, I've seen The Office.
Have you seen where?
What scene is this?
Who's the black gentleman?
Stanley?
It's Stanley. So Stanley's like sitting there at his desk, and he goes over and he's like, you know, I think he's like, let's hang out or something, right? And he grabs something up from him, and hentai pictures like spread across the floor.
Uh-huh.
And they're all censored, but you can like see their faces, and they're just ravaged in the pictures. And it just cuts to Stanley, and he's like, I'm not embarrassed. Hentai is art. I'm like,
Is this from The Office?
yeah.
Oh, how did I not remember this?
Oh man,
Oh man.
should look it up on YouTube. It's funny.
Oh, I will. We have to wrap up the show so I can watch this video on YouTube. Because like,
Yeah.
I really want to watch that now.
I mean, like, I'd rather watch that than Tomb Raider again.
Well, clearly that stuck with you after. How many years ago did you see this?
Oh man, I haven't sat down and watched The Office in quite a while now.
Yeah.
But we're gonna wrap up here, guys.
Mhm.
We appreciate you listening. You know, we're gonna try and do one every week. I think next week is Pacific Rim
Is it?
Uprising.
Yes. Yes, it
Um,
is.
Gonna watch like hopefully a better Transformer movie than actual Transformers.
Well, it looks like I can make out what's happening in the movie.
That's true.
So
That's true.
already it has points right there.
But it loses points because Del Toro isn't attached to it. So sorry, yeah.
No, but it has I believe what's his name? Stephen D. Knight or Stephen S. Knight
Mhm.
is writing and directing it. The guy who made Daredevil season 1.
Really?
Yeah, his directorial
Man, I
debut.
didn't know. I should probably look into this.
Hmm. So that's what has me pumped.
So
for
I
it.
guess I could earn that point back. 'Cause-
Well, I think half a point because he hasn't directed before. So
true.
Yeah.
Um,
So as a storyteller, he's decent, but he's no Del Toro.
that's true.
So
That's true.
give it half a point back.
I mean, Del Toro just won Director of the Year
Mhm.
with his Yif fan fiction. I couldn't believe it.
Oh my
couldn't
God.
believe it. But no, we're.
It's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother tale, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
my God, we should just have a Del Toro episode.
Yeah, another 2 hours of awesomeness.
Have you seen Kronos?
Kronos?
His very first one?
I have not actually.
It's a Spanish film.
Isn't that like 1980 something?
No. Because in the
Like
80s, he was
89?
doing like short films and like working like as a handyman on films. But
One of my actual favorite ones, his
Mhm.
early works, is
Mimic,
Mimic.
yeah.
I love Mimic. Well, until you like, there's a point in the movie where like you see the studio interferences.
Oh my God.
But other than that, like the movie's great.
Mhm.
But we're getting off track again.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching, guys. This has been
The
the
ticket,
Ticket
counter.
Counter.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anthony, for joining me.
Well, thank you, Tim, for joining me.
Absolutely. And we'll see you next time, guys. All right?
All right.
Make sure to, if you like us, give us a like. If not,
Smash
leave
that like
us a-
button.
smash that like button, bitch. No,
If you want.
if you don't like us and you got some criticism, leave down there in the comments. And if you
Yeah.
just want to be like, hey, good show, guys. We appreciate that too. And
Well, that's just too nice.
I guess subscribe if you want. I mean, you don't have to.
No.
You know, if you want more awesome episodes from us.
Yeah. On a weekly, bi-weekly basis. You'll get
you
them.
know, whenever we're not working.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys.
Can you believe
Appreciate
this isn't our day job?
No. We'll see you next time, all right?
Yeah.
This has been Ticket Count.
Have a good week.